Hi everyone, I'm upstairs in my altar space today. This morning it's an absolutely beautiful day outside, and we had some snow last night, and so it's cold and windy and just something about it, it's very beautifully wintry today. So I just felt like doing my tarot reviews and some other videos today upstairs. So I apologize if the lighting's a little off. We haven't painted this room yet, so it's white and the sun's really bright right now. I thought I would start my videos today by doing a review of Doreen Virtue's Angel Card Tarot deck. I've been posting cards of the day on my Facebook page, which is Artist Owl Moon. You can find me on Facebook under that name. And I've been using I used the Angel Tarot deck last week, and actually had a few people that follow my daily draws ask me about the deck, so I figured I would just do a little video kind of talking about the deck and what I like and dislike about the deck. So let's get started. Sorry about that. I had to divide my deck up because I wanted to try to start showing more, if not all, of the cards in the decks, because I know if you're watching a review, you're probably considering purchasing the deck and you want to see more cards. I personally don't mind if I don't see all the cards in a deck. I just like to see enough to get an idea of the feeling of the artwork and if it appeals to me. So that's why I haven't done that in the past, but I figured I'd try this new setup, and if you guys don't like it, you'll let me know. And if you do, then I'll continue to show you most of the cards in the deck. So I had to split my deck up. I really don't like to do that. Once it's shuffled, I like to keep it shuffled, but that's okay. I'm gonna try something new with this in the reviews and see if you guys like it. So this is what the back of the cards look like. The angel, so you can tell if there's reversals. If that bothers you, that's a heads up on that. The cards are really large. I actually like that. Let me show you a comparison. This is the Shadowscapes Tarot, and this is the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue, and I'm sorry, I think it's Rudolph Valentine. So let me start by saying my feelings about the deck. I've really had a hard time with Doreen Virtue in the past, and I've talked about that in a few of my reviews of her decks. I will have more reviews coming up and kind of a more updated viewpoint of my opinion on her work, but I was actually gifted these cards from a dear friend and spiritual mother to me for my birthday this past year. And this is the deck that kind of like changed my opinion for me to open up a little bit more to her energy and realize that I don't have to attach to the religion that, she can be quite religious. And that's fine. And I don't have to attach to that. I'm learning that I don't need to like not read her work because of that. So I was a little hesitant to start working with the deck, but once I did, I absolutely really actually like this deck for readings, and I've used it on a few clients, and they have all really liked this deck even more than I have. Some of them have ended up purchasing this deck or other decks by her after our session together. Let me just explain. This is what the cards will look like. They have a really thick border, and I don't really like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. And then she's named them. She's changed the names of some of the cards. Not sure how I feel about that, but she feels that they should all be positive and there should be no negativity associated with the deck at all. So the Fool, the Devil, the Tower, I believe Judgment, those names have been changed to more friendly, positive names. So like for the Fool, you have the Dreamer. Underneath, she lists it for the major arcana, the archangel that's associated with the deck, and then underneath she has keywords. For instance, for the Dreamer, who would be the Fool in tarot, it says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So the image is actually a lot smaller than the card would lead you to believe from viewing it based on the backing. one thing that she does do, which I think is great if you're just starting out with tarot, she kind of has color-coded all the suits, and she's color-coded the major arcana. The major arcana are this kind of like royal purple. The suit of air, that's what she calls this one. She goes by the elements, which would be swords in a traditional tarot deck. They're a more of a bluey purple color. Could be a little easy to confuse with the major arcana color, but I haven't really found that to be so. The element or suit of water, which would be cups in a traditional deck, is a light blue. The element of fire, which would be wands, is a dark red. And the element of earth is a darker green. So they're color-coded, which is can be very helpful and help to prompt you to remember what the card means for you as you're doing your reading for yourself or other people. So I definitely think that's a good thing if you're just getting started. I almost really don't pay attention to it because I'm working with the cards, and so I mean I see it and I realize it, but it's not like an active thing for me. However, I think it can be helpful. So here's the dreamer. Like I said, I wish the image was bigger. I wish we didn't have such a thick border, and I wish we didn't have the keywords at the bottom. I'm sorry, I do feel that way. I think that if you like keywords, they can be really helpful. They kind of trip me up a little bit when I'm reading for other people. Not so much for myself, but if I'm reading for someone else, I end up like, I'm looking at that because I'm wondering if they're reading it and what they're thinking about. And then I kind of get out of my space of just going with my intuition. So I'm not necessarily in love with that. However, like I said, I've had really great readings with this deck. So it's one of those decks where like it's not my favorite deck in the world, but it still definitely does its job. So that's the dreamer. It's this kind of photorealist artist that she's used for the whole deck. I like that it's one artist throughout the deck. Here's the magician, the high priestess, and for the most part, I like the images. The empress, the emperor, with a few exceptions, but I mean that's always the case with every deck. I think unity, which would be the Hierophant, which again she's taken that traditional meaning out. The Lovers, Archangel Raphael. He looks awful in this deck. I'm sorry, he or she, however you choose to look at Raphael, did not do him justice, I have to say. 7, the Chariot, Archangel Metatron. Justice. But some of them are very beautiful. Like I think that's a beautiful image. The Hermit, Archangel Raziel. The Wheel, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael shows up several times in the major arcana, and I dislike the image that they used for him as well. Not my favorite. Strength, Archangel Ariel. All right, now we start getting into more of the change names. She's changed the Hangman too. It's Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. Release, Archangel Azrael, which is Death. And I don't, like I said, I'm not really happy that she's changed the names, because I think, I do have a pagan spirituality, so I think that there's a balance that is necessary to achieve, and with that is the dark and the light in a human experience. So that's not necessarily something I love, but if you really love working with positivity and positive thinking and the power of your thoughts and things like that, then you may actually appreciate this. 14 is Balance. 15 is Ego, which would be the Devil. Took away my devil. Very sad about that. Life Experience, 16 would be the Tower. 17, the Star. 19, the Sun. 18, the Moon. I'm looking at the timer. I think I'm going to have to make a second video. Renewal, 20. So again, this would be Judgment. And I've actually done some meditation with this card and had a great experience with it. So it definitely is an effective deck. 21, the World. Again, Archangel Michael shows up. what I'm going to do is I'll end this first part of the video here, and then I will go into the second part, which will cover the suits, because as I'm showing every card, I'm going to run out of time here. So I will see you in the second half of the review of the Angels Tarot. Thank you for watching.